Hello everybody, Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I got a video today I think you're going to find real interesting. What I did was I searched my hard drive for all pictures and map pictures. One of the tools that I've used to find evidence is going online for like Google Maps, Google Earth, Bing Maps, and even the city has maps. And so I collected, I went through and I have these pictures, and each one of them have a story and why I posted it. And most of them, I had marked up, explaining this and that. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video, starting with the oldest map picture that I found that I thought was significant. Okay, it was a black and white picture, this one, and it came from the city of Midland. Okay, I don't think you can no longer get it. I'm glad I have a screenshot of it. And what I think's interesting, this is my house over here. Okay, this is where I was ambushed and shot. And what I saw in here that I thought was interesting, one, there's a building right here that wasn't there when I moved here. There's also a shed there that is still there, okay? So that is gone, whatever that building there, okay? But what I'm pointing out here is in the backyard, okay, it looks like a tunnel ditch was cut right here, okay? You see where that white line is? And there's something black right there. I don't know what that is, but okay. And when I extend that out, okay, straight out, it goes to right here on the corner of my house. And right here at this corner, what is that? On the southeast corner is some buried cinder blocks, okay? And it's real weird that they're there anyway, But what I'm showing is where it looks like this ditch was cut, comes in right here, and it intersects with this, okay? That's what it looks like to me. Okay, and then over here in the neighbor's backyard, that's where a suspected tunnel entrance was located. And I'm going to show you on other maps here in a minute. And it looks like there's a straight line. I drew a dotted line from here to there. Okay, and then if I extend this out this way, it goes to where that second manhole was over on the other side of the fence on the Home Depot side, where they had the lid off of the off the manhole for a couple years. I'd sent a picture of it to the Chief Police Price Robinson after I shot. I believed it was used for human trafficking. Them truckers were coming and going 24/7 when the store wasn't open, when nobody was there. They wasn't manned 24/7 back then. And these trucks are coming in the holidays and the weekends and the middles of the night. I'm hearing people in my attic. It was obvious the people in the attic were going over here and they were meeting them truckers. And I think they were doing like a sex deal, like sex trafficking, like lot lizards. And so they were coming here in my attic, and they're going down, and obviously via tunnel, and I think they were coming up where that open manhole was there, or somewhere else back there, and they're meeting them truckers and then coming back, okay? But anyway, I want to show you that right there on that map. I think that's an interesting screen. This one is one of my oldest map screens I created a long time ago. And at the top, you'd say the 50,000 foot view, perfect place to smuggle humans, drugs, etc. Okay. And that's what I'm backed off. I'm showing the Home Depot store. Here's Target. Here's the church, the Westmont Park, or the Fairmont Park Church of Christ. Okay. Here's my neighborhood right here, and here's my home right there. That's where I'm ambushed and shot. Remember, it's believed the last homeowner died the week before the 2008 oil show started, etc. Okay, and so over here, what I did was there's a leftover piece of a sewer pipe, or what I call man-sized tunnel pipe, found in this yard, in my neighbor's yard. It's still there. And I believe that might have been the pipe that was over here where that tunnel ditch was cut, that went over to that manhole over there, and they were using that for sex trafficking, okay? And there's a picture of that open manhole I was talking about a minute ago, and that was on the other side of the Home Depot, on the other side of the wall, on the Home Depot side of the wall. And so over here's Midland Drive, okay? So you're driving down Midland Drive and you look and you can't see behind the Home Depot store. It's secluded. It's a secluded truck unloading lane, okay? And there's a wall right here and all these trees. And so when a truck comes in here, they got to turn here and they come back in here and then they dead end, go back around the store. Okay, so that's what I was saying. I'm seeing these truckers coming 24/7. This was back, this ain't happening now, but this is back when I first moved here. and it's a perfect place to smuggle drugs, weapons, terrorists, humans, etc. from Mexico into America. We're only about 3 hours from the border. You could drive to the border and not even get pulled over. And I-20 is right here in Midland. So that's a 50,000 foot view picture. Here's my next screen. This comes from Google Earth, okay? And this is 4 screenshots from Google Earth. You can go look this up today, and they're timestamped. And what happens was, because the technology was evolving, in 2008, it's blurry, and if you get further back, you can barely even see it. So as the technology got better, it's better pictures. And what I'm showing is in the neighbor's backyard is the suspected tunnel entrance. It's right here. I'm going to show you, okay? Because there's my home, there's the neighbor's home, that's his backyard, okay? And so here, this dated picture on March 31st, 01, it's not there. And that's important, okay? So at that time, in 2008, I didn't live here, and the last homeowner, Mike Lawhon, he was still alive, okay? But by December 5th, 2009, it's there, okay? So sometime in between them 2 dates, that got put in, the suspected tunnel entrance, and that was the time frame that Mike Lawhon died, and then I bought the home. And of course, that happened the week before the 2008 oil show started. It's believed the oil show party was in an underground home in the backyard here, okay? Well, okay, so that tells us the install date for the suspected tunnel entrance that was in the neighbor's backyard. I used to hear people out there see the flashlights in the middle of the night, out there in that backyard. And of course, I got people breaking into my home, etc. Okay, here I'm going to show you some more on October 2014. It's still there, okay? But by April 2016, it's gone. Of course, by that time, I had already survived a murder attempt in 2012. I'm finding all this evidence. I'm posting it on the internet. It's starting to get, a lot of viewers. People are seeing, and I think they're going, oh, no, we got to take this out. But he's figuring it out, or whatever, And at the same time, I want to show you this tree is turns up missing, live tree. It's there. Now it's gone. At the same time, the suspected tunnel entrance is gone. That's where that manhole was, where the 2 side-by-side manholes, that was the other suspected tunnel entrance. I believe it was connected to my house. So I believe a cover-up went on in this time frame in the between 2014 and 2016, 2015 time range. Okay, so that was them dated pictures, that showing us that. These are some real old pictures, more map pictures. And I had asked a question on Facebook, what do you see different in these 2 pictures, And I'm trying to get people to look and go, oh, well, this is different, that's different. And this was after November 2008, okay? Remember, and this was before November 2008, okay? And so, I moved in here in November 2008, and so what I was showing is that before, there were no tunnel entrance in the backyard, okay? You see what I'm saying? And I also pointed out this truck's full of dirt. I thought that was real interesting because it looks like there's been a lot of digging going on right here, okay? But I want to show you in the backyard, that's where that suspected tunnel entrance was located, in the neighbor's backyard. It's not there. And that's what I was showing you on the other pictures there of the install date of the suspected tunnel entrance in the neighbor's backyard, okay? Here's a Bing map, okay? And this is just one of the few that I got that's not Google or whatever. But what is interesting, I'm going to zoom in here on the backyard. And it looks like a trail here. You see that? How that trail comes into here? I think that's interesting. And you see where that, once again, where that dirt's dug up right there. I just think it might be clues in there on that picture. Okay. Let's look here. Okay. I think this is... Yeah, this is the picture we looked at earlier. This is the one before I moved here, because you're seeing that the truck, it was full of dirt, and that's real interesting. It looks like all this dirt's dug up right here. Remember, my whole lawn has been filled over. 1.5 foot dirt was placed on my lawn sometime after it was built, okay? The other thing, I'm looking over here where they broke this apart. There were concrete boards right there, and they had one of them out, and there's a big pile of dirt right here for whatever reason. maybe connected, you know, to the crimes, maybe to the digging, to the underground facilities, I don't know. Showing I was shot right here from somebody under my home. And this picture showing Mike Lahan's truck is parked in the driveway. So that picture was taken before I moved here. But I was the next unsuspecting victim. Okay. Map thing. That's once again, I'm showing you, here's a dated October 2014. In the neighbor's backyard was the suspected tunnel entrance. Okay, you can see that. This one's dated April 2016, and it's gone, but you can see where it was taken out. See where the grass hadn't even grown back over, okay? And you know, so I wanted to show you that. Also interested in here, this blue tank is a water well, okay? And there's some boards leaned up here that would block my view from my yard to where that suspected tunnel entrance is from the ground. Actually, about a week before I was ambushed and shot, my phone lines cut, I climbed on my roof and I'm looking around the neighborhood trying to find out how they're getting in my house, and I saw that, you know. And about a week later, of course, I survived a murder attempt, now crippled for life, living under the threat of death. But, you know, I had seen that for the first time right before I was ambushed and shot because I climbed on my roof, okay? Here we go. This is an old picture because I was using Firefox on my computer. What I thought was interesting was these. That's my company vehicle there, and then these cars in front of my house right here, and that looks like a construction trader. Okay, and so I'm thinking, my guess is maybe I went to Hobbs for the day, in my truck, and I was gone, and that's when this, you know, satellite flew over and got this picture, you know, and they're in there working in my house or whatever, you know, maybe they're raping babies or whatever they do, you know, having parties or killing little girls, you know what they do, you know, where the secret police hang out, you know, that, you know, whatever they're doing, you know, so they can commit these violent crimes against innocent people. Once again, you can see the boards real clear. They're still there. They've been there ever since I moved here. There's the water well. I want to show you that's important in a minute. Here's my shed. There was a video in 2016 of a digging noise right here. I got it on camera, right in the corner of that shed. On the other side of there, you can see where the suspected tunnel entrance is. Here's on the other side. That's where the missing tree was. That's where the manholes are. The two manholes. One had the lid left off. Just show you that. Okay, back to another 50,000 foot view. What I was showing on this picture was the parking lot over here in front of the Home Depot, okay? And I got a little comment here. I was told so many words, a lot of people were in the underground facility when I was shot here. Where would a lot of cars park, okay? Did you see that? And see, one day I was in Home Depot and I'm telling a clerk my story, you know, about being ambushed and shot by somebody in my home. And I live right behind Home Depot, okay? And she just blurts out, if you happen to see a lot of cars in the parking lot late at night, it's because we're stalking, you know. And I hadn't seen that because I can't see on the other side of the building, and I hadn't thought about it. But a party for a Permian Basin International Oil Show, very famous oil show parties put on by wealthy oil men, right? Everybody's heard about these parties. They would need a lot of parking, but they would need an excuse too. And the reason the car's out there is because we're stalking, you know. And I think she was giving me a clue that was the excuse, you know. And then behind the Home Depot store, you could see where the ground was cut. See, the asphalt's a different color right here, and you project that out and it goes directly to my house, okay? Now, on the 2010 oil show party, when Angie was leaving my home and at the party in 5 minutes, I know that because we're talking on the phone, you know, here she'd leave my house and we're talking on the phone, she'd be there in 5 minutes. I think she drove around, she parked in that parking lot, and then she went in this building somewhere, and she come back and she come through that tunnel. And if you also remember in 2019, I was back there with Homeland Security showing them where I believe that human trafficking murder tunnel was at, and 2 weeks later, the ground was dug up and concrete was poured back there, right? You know, I mean, you know, and Homeland is supposed to be stopping human trafficking, not covering up, you know, human trafficking murders, right? And that looks like what they're really doing, okay? In my backyard is believed to be one of the 4 underground homes I was told was here. $1 million underground homes put in for George H.W. Bush in 1987, called the Safe House Project. They had a budget of $7.35 million, etc. Whole bunch of people documented saying it's here. Okay, I'll show you that screen, that map. Okay, this is just a zoomed up picture of the tunnel ditch coming from the back of Home Depot store. See, I believe that is where Angie left my home, and she come back through this tunnel, and in the backyard is one of them underground homes, okay? And so where the parties were going, where the oil show party, I believe that's where the young girl was murdered. 2013, the remains of a young girl found outside of Midland, you know, obviously the same girl, you know. So maybe DNA evidence is in this tunnel, but it's probably filled with concrete now, and we can thank Homeland Security for that, as far as I'm concerned. And but I wanted to show you that zoomed in picture, okay? We call this the map thing. We might have looked at it a minute ago. It's talking about more that in the backyard with a suspected tunnel entrance of the neighbor's home. And then what I was showing is the tree's gone there. Okay, so they took out the tree, and the tree was sitting right next to the other suspected tunnel entrance, right? I've got a video where they poured concrete right here, you know, and I think it was last year, year before last. And it's because I made these videos, okay? This picture I have shared hundreds of times. Okay, so and I'm encouraging other people to be interactive. Go look for yourself. Go to maps.google.com. Look up my address, 3802 Fair Circle, and then just switch between the map view right here and the satellite view. And what you'll see is in my backyard is a big bunker on the map view that you can't see from above ground. And I got all these people documented saying that there's underground homes here, okay? But, you know, we got the woman that I recorded told me that there's 4 3-bedroom underground homes buried at least 25 foot deep. She said they're having pedophile parties down there. Rhonda Denman Rogers says underground facilities a half block away, right? The Layla O'Brien from Houston, the CAD programmer, told me she worked on this project. It was she named the company on a recording, and that she worked for, $7.35 million budget, called the Safe Houses, put in for George H.W. Bush, finished in 1987. Okay, and others, you know, and you know, and then a woman said, it actually suggested, go look up your home on Google Maps, and that's what you see. And everybody should do that, because that's where I believe that young girl was murdered at, where the remains were found 2013. Angie told me about a young girl murdered at an oil show party in 2010, and she's leaving my home and at the party in 5 minutes, okay? Obviously, they were in them underground homes, okay? And this one right here, it's the same picture of the bunker in the backyard on the map screen from Home Depot. I just wanted to show you that. Interestingly, when I had that fence put in right here, the guy that was putting in my fence, he had an auger, and he was drilling holes so he could put his fence post in. And he gets over here around this corner where that point is, around there. And he said he couldn't drill, you know. So he gets his rock bar and he hits it, and it, you know, the noise it makes, it's like, he says it sounds hollow or whatever. The rock sounds hollow. That's what he's telling me right over here. And this, where that fence is right there when he put that in. That's where I think one of the $4 million underground homes are. And you know, well, what did you do? Why did you go dig it up? You know, well, one, it's protected by a secret police murder gang that will sneak into your house, shoot you, falsify evidence, lie on police reports, and get the press to help cover up your murder. That's why these are cold-blooded killers that are involved in these crimes. They shot me and left me to die inside my own home, and I'm just home minding my own business, right? That's why we have to find real law enforcement, and you know, and there's plenty of evidence. It's just to the point of absurdity, you know. And so here's another map screen that's you know, I put a lot of comments on. I'm making the comment about the parking lot in front of Home Depot. I'm showing the you know, the tunnel now that's full, you know, that has DNA evidence of a murdered girl that's now filled with concrete thanks to Homeland Security, right? Or that's what I believe. Here's where I'm ambushed and shot inside my home. But this picture is dated about 6 months before the murder attempt. Okay, here we go. You know, that was a list of all the people. Ricky Ronaldo said him and his brother they used to live in this house. They used to go in the tunnels under it. You know, it's all the stories and proofs. But here I was pointing out this house on Westmont Court. Rhonda Denman Rogers said that one of the underground homes is a half block away. Well, I live here. Okay. And over here is an empty lot, half block away. Okay, I suspected maybe this is where one of the other 4 underground homes are. There's total 4 underground homes, I was told. So maybe it's here. One of the reasons I think so, because this has a water well. My neighbor has a water well right next on my fence, right in line right there. I showed you. This home had a mortar problem that they fixed. It was the same mortar problem that I had, okay? And I got a contractor to believe the mortar problem is a foundation problem, such as they tunneled under the house. The house settled, it dropped. And when they dropped, it broke the mortar joints, okay? So this house had a mortar problem. My house had a mortar problem. This house has a water well. My house had a water well. Rodney Denman Rogers says there's an underground facility at Block Way. This home's owned by a Concho safety man, okay? That's one big oil company. I wonder if Concho here in Midland had people at the party, right? Okay, let's look at the next one here. This one right here is just showing you, I already showed you another one's the water well in the backyard of the neighbor's house, okay? Suspected underground home is here, right here, where we're pointing it out, where the ground's cut behind the Home Depot, aimed directly at my house. One, I said den. There was a woman recorded on a phone call. She says, in your den. It's coming in your den. When you project that out from Home Depot, it goes right to my den, you know. And so I was shot right here. God saved my life. It was a miracle. You know, they pre-planned my murder. And they have all the resources in the world. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I was so surprised when I found out that police were involved, you know, because I'm a lifelong supporter of police, you know. I mean, I was a 28-year company man, granddad, homeowner, never had a felony, you know, and I bought a home where a guy just died. You know, I mean, I was totally surprised when I started finding out police were involved in these violent crimes against crime victims myself, you know, and I suspect the guy lived here before me. Another 10,000 foot view here. And what I was showing, remember the video of the guy running down the alley being chased with a car and putting the trunk under gunpoint? You remember that one? I said he come from the direction of this church right here. Here's a Fairmont Park Church across right here down the alley, okay? Also, about 3 or 4 times I, on my dash cam, documented large groups of police meeting at the church. And I had a police officer, a law enforcement officer, advised me to go snoop around that church, as in that church might have a connection to the underground homes, crimes, and you know, etc. Okay. And also, here's, I'm pointing out where the water well is here in the empty lot that's a half block from my home. Also interesting, this is what I call the water well. There's another home here on Fair Green Court. This is another cul-de-sac right by the church, okay? And this home at 3800 Fair Green has a water well next to it, okay? This corner home on Fairbanks, and it also had the same mortar problem. So this house had a mortar problem, my house had a mortar problem, that house had a mortar problem, and they all have water wells nearby. So maybe that's 3 of the 4 underground homes, you know? And let's see. This one I called the Conaway, because when I was showing you here, it's found out that the brother-in-law of U.S. Congressman Mike Conaway, that's now retired, used to live in this home across the street, okay? And that was at 3809 Fair Circle. I'm shot here, okay? This is my home. And this is where it's believed Mike Lawhon died. This is what I call the Conaway home, okay? Maybe his family still lives in this home. See, when I got that video of them pouring concrete back here after I'd met Homeland Security, 2 weeks later, Conaway announces his retirement, you know? And I had already personally talked to Conaway, and I felt like he sent me on a dead end. He wanted... You know, he advised me to contact the U.S. Inspector General, who would never call me back, okay? And so there's a Conaway home. And then when I first moved in here, who lived in this Conaway home here was Daniel and Brandy Price, okay? And Brandy, who used to be Merrill, she used to own my home. She's the one that sold my home to Mike Lawhon. Of course, he died right before I moved here. Okay, so I wondered if this home has a connection with tunnels under it, etc. So there's that map, the Conaway home. And this map is I got a video one day of this home across the street right here is owned by a locksmith, Abel Locksmith. Okay, they took this fence out and they had dump trucks of dirt, at least 2 dump trucks, full dump trucks of dirt dumped in that backyard. And I wondered if maybe there was something, they were filling in something underground here. I got this on video. That's directly across the street. Of course, you know, I will say with all these crimes, multiple murders, all this evidence, none of these neighbors over here have you know, I felt like being supportive, you know, and I have a feeling they might know something about the underground homes. Okay, this map was taken back in the Jade Helm era, back in 2015. Remember, across America, 5 Walmarts got shut down mysteriously. And Walmart said, "Oh, we got plumbing problems." They laid everybody off and sent them home, closed down $1 million stores from 5 stores in Walmart. One of them stores was a half-mile away from my home. That was here at Walmart. Okay, I'm going to show you as the crow flies. Okay, that's what this map was showing you. It's right on the other side of the loop here. Here's the Home Depot store, and I live right behind Home Depot. Here's the Walmart here. That was one of the 5 stores, and that was going on while Obama's president. They had Jade Helm, and that's where they did military exercises out in the public. Okay, never happened before. And a whole bunch of rumors. But there was a whole bunch of rumors about tunnels underneath them Walmart stores. Well, I'm saying, hey, I was reporting tunnels here before I'm ambushed and shot by somebody under my home in 2012. Well, that happened in 2015. I got a ton of viewers on my videos because of that right there. I recorded a guy, he was a landman named Keith Turman, and he's telling me a story that's in the Dr. Stalker video. You can go look that up. But Keith is telling me on that phone call, because he's an oilfield landman. He says, I was told not to do any, underground survey work over there, but, to look for minerals or whatever. But I did anyway, and I found something. That's on that phone call. I secretly recorded him telling me I found something underground by Walmart. And then he said he was framed. Okay, he said his partner pulled a gun on him, and he was framed by April Chandler. That was one of the secret police dirty cops. She was standing there with Rosie Rodriguez when they planted my stolen cell phone behind my nightstand. I got a picture of her. She's the one that called me a paranoid schizophrenic when I had been cleared by mental health. She just made up that lie, smeared my name, destroyed my reputation to cover up a premeditated home invasion, capital attempted murder. She's a dirty, dirty, dirty cop. I don't know if she's as dirty as Rosie Rodriguez, but she is close. They're all dirty. That's all there is to it. They are the enemies of the law-abiding citizens. It reports crime to them, And so anyways, that's what Keith Turman said. I found something underneath that Walmart store right there. So maybe one of that 4th underground home that I hadn't been able to, find, maybe it's over there, and that has a connection, And so I think I got one last map screen. We'll close this out. Oh, this is the most recent one, my most recent video, where a guy told me that when he was in high school around 2011 at a home at 2011 Bedford Drive, okay, that him and his buddies found a door where a door shouldn't be, and they went in, there was a tunnel, and underground, he talked to how they walked 3 or 4 miles towards the Home Depot store. That's what he said. And he's talking about there was beds down there, and there was rooms, and people had lived in them, etc. Okay, I went to MidCat, and I looked up the owners and previous owners of this home right here on Bedford, and it used to be owned by my kidney doctor. I thought that was real interesting because the ex-wife had told me the secret is a group of doctors are killing people for profit. And I had been I'd been writing the Texas Rangers and Sheriff Kreiner saying they're poisoning me in my house. They're putting, these people that are breaking my house, daily, are putting some kind of poison gas in the air, whatever. Now I'm stage 5 kidney disease. That's what it is. They tried to kill me, make it look like an accident. Now I think they're trying to slowly poison me. They're trying to kill me because of this underground home. And then they're trying to cover up, the murder of the last homeowner, the murder of the little girl. They're trying to kill me. And then all these people that, like the 11 secret police that got caught on camera covering up this murder attempt, I guess they don't want to arrest them even though they're busted as busted can be. So I want to show you here. It shows 4.4 miles, and but as the crow flies, probably 3 miles from that home over here. And also, I was just getting comments on YouTube saying that home's now for sale on 2011 Bedford. You can see that. Anyway, that's all my map screens. I thought y'all would find that real interesting. You can go look that stuff up yourself. I don't know if we're ever going to find legitimate law enforcement, but I'm going to keep trying, until they kill me. And they're going to keep on killing. I remember when I was at the FBI office in 2012. and there was Agent Powers comes in there, and he tells me to never come back to their office again. And I looked him in the eye and I said, they're going to keep on killing. I knew they were. I'd been told that that group of doctors kill people for profit. They got all these homes rigged all over America. I've documented 50 other homeowners reporting people in the attic. I'm ambushed and shot with burglar alarms going off in the attic. Last night I made a video of a motion security light on in my attic. The crimes haven't stopped. That means them doctors hadn't stopped. That means the police haven't stopped falsifying evidence, tampering with evidence, lying on police reports. The press isn't reporting the crimes. Nothing's changed. They're still in business. Buddy Way of Midland, Texas.